Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon and our continued coverage of Massive Darkness 2. Today we're going to be taking just a closer look at the Berserker class. So I have Ivan here. He is one of the characters from the Darkbringer pack, essentially the Stretch Goals pack. But all Berserkers work the same. They're all going to use this dashboard here. They're all going to have the same skills. His unique skill just happens to be that once per round you may take a wound to change your stance. Now that's also going to give you essentially ammunition to fire off your abilities as a Berserker. So let's just quickly get into the main component of the Berserker is that as they are wounded, you don't just take your hearts and put them in the supply, you stack them up on this little board here. Why they made this half circle so small, I have no idea, but you can actually hold up to 7 hearts or 7 health up on here, and when you want to complete actions on this board, for example, if you are attacking, you can spend one off of here to re-roll 1 die. Or if you are moving, you can spend one off of here to get an additional movement point. Or if you're in defense, you can spend one off of here to deal 1 wound to the attacker. So when you take wounds as a Berserker, they're transferred over to here up to a maximum of 7. If you already have 7 there, they just go into the supply. When you then burn one or spend one from your Berserker board, it goes into the supply. And if you heal as a Berserker, it comes from the supply. Now there's this little token here, this little double-bladed axe, that is your stance token. So you can only use the effect of the stance that you are currently in. So basically, are you in your Blood Rage stance, which means you're going to be attacking? Are you in your Reckless stance? Means you're going to be charging forward, lots of movement. Or your Provoke stance, where you are essentially the tank for the party and you're building up your defense, or in this case, kind of a hit knockback effect or retaliate effect. So that's the general idea of how the Berserker works. Now, in order to move this token right and left, you can either spend a heart from your supply here to move to whichever one you want, or you can see in Ivan's case, he can actually take a wound, which it would go there to move to change stance, and then he's got something that he can spend later on to say deal 1 wound to the attacker. Now, each class has a set of skill cards. The Berserkers are going to go into these 3 columns here. So as you upgrade your skill, you're going to place them in the spot that the column that they fit in. So you can see here in this instance, this is a level 1 skill, so you may choose this from the very beginning of the game, and you can see it says Blood Rage, so it's going to go into the Blood Rage column. That means if you are in your Blood Rage stance, you can spend a heart to re-roll, but you could also spend a heart to add 1 yellow die to your attack roll. You can also see that there is a reckless one, so you could add this as your level 1 skill. This essentially is like a charge action. It's a movement plus an attack. Or where's the other level 1? Or this one here, where it just kind of bolsters up your provoke action. These are your 3 level 1s. Something to consider is that you always want to make sure you're in the proper stance, and sometimes you might not have something to spend to change your stance from, say, attack to defense at the end of your turn. But also, you can't necessarily constantly be taking wounds. Healing potions and fountains are not abound in this game, so you have to make sure you don't just deplete yourself down to 0. So there are some skills that you want to keep an eye out for, and a lot of them are in this any stance category. So you can see here that this one, instead of saying Blood Rage, Reckless, or Provoke, says any stance. And so, for example, if you wanted to make sure you could always switch to defense, say at the end of your turn, you could put this here in this column, and now as one of your skills, you can change to this stance for free. It doesn't cost you a heart, it doesn't cost you taking a wound. Here's another any stance one, where anytime you can heal you can spend 1 heart to heal yourself 2, and it specifies yourself only and once per round. Anytime means you could do it in the middle of the enemy phase. Let's see, one more here. That is here we go. Here's another good any stance one. Heal 1 anytime, heal 3, or anytime heal 3 yourself. While in this stance, whenever you gain 1, gain +1. So you know, here's the soothing 1 and soothing 2. So there are Ivan and the other berserkers do have abilities that allow you to heal yourself pretty quickly, so you keep that engine going where you can not be scared of taking wounds, so that you have things to spend to fire off things like you know, Fatal Fury here. And that's really the crux of the Berserker, is deciding which stance you want to be in and figuring out where you want your skill cards to go. Do you feel like you need to be a defensive tank in this mission? Do you feel like you just need attack, attack, attack? Is it a really long mission where you got to do a lot of running? Stuff like that. So that's kind of how you would want to go about leveling up your Berserker, and this is how the mechanics work. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Again, the Berserker class is in the core box, and if you happen to have the Darkbringer pack, there is Ivan here as a stretch gold Berserker. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.